up, girlfriends? I am Winona, your gospel girlfriend. I am the girlfriend you can pray with, counsel with, fast with, talk to about the Bible, or you just need that encouraging hug or an encouraging word. I am that same girlfriend who will give you a listening ear when you need to vent about your job, your relationships, or that situation that almost made you forget you were saved, girl. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Welcome to Gospel Girlfriend Podcast. Gospel Girlfriend Podcast inspires and encourages you that although life's journey may be challenging at times, there is nothing too hard for God to handle. Not that sickness or disease, not that financial situation. I mean, absolutely nothing is too hard for God to handle. His word says he is a friend that loves at all times and sticks closer than a brother. So receive this inspirational word for today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your host, Winona, your gospel girlfriend. So let's talk. I love that song. The name of this song is Faith by Galantis and Dolly Parton, featuring Mr. Pro.
What's up, girlfriends? This is Winona, your gospel girlfriend. And I want to say happy Memorial Day to everyone. Here in Michigan, we are having beautiful weather, enjoying good food. So I hope you are having a wonderful holiday today. Well, let's get right into our conversation on this evening, girlfriends. So tonight, I want to talk about superpower number 2. I hope you had a chance to catch my podcast on last week where I introduced you to my 3 superpowers. Make a decision to live or die, take the fear with you, and fight to become a survivor. So on last week, I elaborated on making a decision. So tonight, I want to spend a little bit of time giving you some nuggets for superpower number 2. Take the fear with you, or conquering your fears. You know, conquering my fear, this was huge for me because as I was going through some of my most challenging circumstances in my life, I had to learn how to take the fear with me in order for me to get to that next level on the other side of the fear, or get to that next level on the other side of whatever it was that I was going through. So tonight, I want to share some of those nuggets with you because I want you to conquer your fear tonight. I want to help you, equip you, and empower you to get over your fear, to get to that next level on the other side of whatever it is that you're going through. So let me just clarify fear for a moment with you, because when I think of fear, I'm talking about a fear. Of course, we face unknown situations every day. It could be on a daily basis if we starting something new in our life. But there may be an element of fear in whatever decision that we make. And so what we must do is we gotta learn how to get over that fear. So let me clarify that fear by saying that it could be a situation that you have never faced before. You know, it could be something new that is on the horizon for you. And a lot of times when we find ourselves in the unknown, there is an element of fear there, and that's okay. But the key step that you must remember here, that it's okay to have that element of fear, but you cannot allow that fear to keep you from moving forward. You cannot allow that fear to hold you back. So that's where overcoming your fear, conquering your fear, facing your fear comes from. So it could also be, you know, if you're ready to, you find yourself, for instance, you getting ready to write your book, you ready to get to the next level of seeing yourself as an accomplished author. Well, there's an element of fear of the unknown because you never wrote a book before. But in order for you to see yourself as that accomplished author, you have to get over that fear in order for you to get to that desired haven that you have in mind for yourself as an accomplished author. And the next fear could be a fear in an adverse circumstance. The fear that you are facing right now because of your situation, you don't know how in the world you are going to get through it. So that is the clarifying of the fear. So now that I've clarified the fear, I wanted to pose this question. I want you to think about this as well. So when I say conquer your fear or face your fear, what does that look like for me? Well, let me just give you 3 factors here of what conquering fear or facing my fear, what it looked like for me. So I wanted to move forward with whatever decision I had just made. So I said I was ready to move to the next step. So now I made that decision. So I have to, in order for me to move, I'm going to have to go ahead and face that fear. I'm going to have to conquer that fear. And so number two, how am I going to face that fear in the decision that I just made? So there were 3 smaller factors in that, meaning number 1, I had to walk right into my decision. What do I mean by walk right into my decision? So I'm going to give you an example, a piece of my testimony about the breast cancer. So I made a decision that I'm no longer going to allow fear to hold me back, but I'm going to go to the doctor and see what these lumps in my breast that I was feeling, what is the diagnosis. So I walked right into that decision that I'm going to go ahead and go to the doctor. And there was fear. There was fear of the unknown. Step 2, I prayed and I asked God to guide me through this fear. So I needed God to give me, enough courage to be able to walk into that doctor's office and go ahead and able for them. I had to have the courage to take that mammogram. I had to have the courage to go through that biopsy. So I needed God to give me the courage. I needed Him to give me the strength. And that was my prayer as I walked right into the decision that I'm going to face my fear. I'm going to take the fear. This is another way I like to phrase it. Take the fear with you. So yes, there was a fear of the unknown, fear of going to the doctor, fear of what the diagnosis could be. But I said, I'm going to take the fear with me. And then number 3, I said I'm going to trust God that He was going to give me what I needed to overcome the fear. So now that the diagnosis of breast cancer was given to me by the doctor, so I needed God to give me the courage to swallow that pill. And once I swallowed, being able to move forward with the treatment decision, and whatever else was coming up after that. So I had to trust God in all of that. And you know what? And part of conquering your fear or taking the fear with you is being able to trust God that, He's with you every step of the way. Being able to stand on His word. Whatever for me, in my case, I needed to stand on the word of healing that God said that it was promised to me. So these were 3 elements here of what taking the fear with me, what it looked like for me, what it meant to me. And so the last piece of this is that seeing victory. Because now that I made a decision that I'm going to overcome that fear and I'm going to take it with me. So seeing victory meant that I am now ready to move to the next steps in order to see the victorious resolution, the victorious outcome of that, which is the healing, being able to say that I am a breast cancer survivor. So those were the 3 key elements for me of what taking fear with me looked like, how I was able to handle that. And so tonight we're going to do something different because I want to help you to conquer your fear, to take that fear with you in whatever the situation that you are dealing with right now. So in order for me to do that, I want to give you 3 keys. These were 3 keys that were significant for me in being able to conquer my fear. These are 3 scriptures that are dedicated to fear and helping one overcome their fears and getting to a place where they're saying, you know what, this fear is not so bad after all. This situation doesn't look so bleak after all. So key number 1 is second, coming from 2 Timothy 1:7, which says, "For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Scripture 2, which is key 2, 1 John 4:18. "There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love." And key 3 was Philippians 4:6-7. "Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known unto God." So those were 3 huge keys for me. Biblical scripture. Remember what I said about facing the fear, or taking your fear with you. That is going to require an element of trusting God in your decision to move forward, in your decision that you are not going to let this fear stop you, but you're going to take it with you and face it head on, because you want to overcome the fear. And so I want you to write these scriptures down and meditate on them, because believe me, they are going to be a huge, huge step in you getting on the other side of your fear. So the next step, I want you to get your journal, get a piece of paper, whatever it is that you write on, because you know what, I'm a firm believer that there's healing in writing. So I want you to write down the one thing you feel an element of fear in that situation that you're dealing with right now. I'm going to say that again. Write down one thing where you feel there's an element of fear in the situation that you are dealing with right now. No matter what the situation is, you feel an element of fear, like you're not sure if you should move forward, or you're not sure how to handle it. Write that thing down. The next step, I want you to write down, why are you experiencing the fear? What is it about that situation that is causing you to fear? Write that down. And then number 3, write down the 3 steps that you could take that would help you to get to the other side of the situation, or the other side of the fear. Let me repeat that. Write down 3 steps you would take that's going to help you get over this situation on the other side, or the other side of the fear, if you had no fear. Step 3, I want you to take those 3 keys, those 3 scripture keys that I gave you earlier, and release those keys over that fear that you are feeling. If you have to release those 3 keys every day, I want you to do that, because it's going to build your confidence that you get, that will allow you to be able to move forward. And step 4, I want you to plan how you're going to move on the 3 steps you wrote down if you had no fear. Planning is everything. Planning allows you to no longer see the fear in the situation. So write those steps out. Well, girlfriends, I am so glad that we had this conversation about conquering our fears, because I want you to move forward. I want you to be blessed. I want you to get to the next level of whatever it is that you're dealing with. Well, I have some exciting news that I also wanted to share with you about the Gospel Girlfriend podcast. You can catch me now on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on PodCaster, and also on Podcast Addict. And also check out my website, WinonaThomas.com. Become a subscriber and receive your free e-devotional book. So until next time, girlfriends, stay blessed, be healed, and be thankful.